Hey, this is Anthony from Havoc Games. I'm going to go through wound cards, bash cards, and a little bit of weapon cards. Before I do that, I'm going to give everybody a preview of the special Neoprene playmats. Right now the camera is focused on the Knight playmat, the male Knight. I'll go through each side. So these are double-sided, but here's the side with the female Knight. Female Barbarian. The male Barbarian. In the complete set of Havoc, you'll get cardboard playmats, double-sided, that are full color and have these illustrations on them. These are the special Neoprene playmats. They measure about 24 inches by about 14 inches. And what we're doing with the higher Kickstarter support is a double-sided Knight playmat and a double-sided Barbarian playmat. So the male Knight on one side, female Knight on the other, female Barbarian on one side, male Barbarian on the other. In terms of the different types of cards that you have for Havoc, I'm going to go through wound and bash cards. Wounds and bash are serious combat effects that can happen in a fight. You can get hurt, injured in a serious way, cut so that you bleed, or you can get knocked down. We call that a bash. So the wound and bash cards all have full color art. Title describing it. Art showing what is happening in the wound. Each wound has a number. Wound 14 is this card, a severe leg wound. Each wound has a severity index, which is shown by broken hearts for a wound, shown by a star for the bash. Then you'll see some letters below the severity index. Here, CT, SM, GB, FB, that stands for cut, smash, great blow, ferocious blow. Those are the different attack types that could trigger that wound. Then it explains some other game information. And then there are start of round effects. So once you get wounded, body is a type of damage. Fatigue is how long you can keep fighting, but you can experience continuing lingering effects from a wound card. You'll see there's some differences between the severe leg wound and the moderate leg wound. So you can see everything is laid out. All art has been procured. Layout work done. Files have been sent to the printer. Severe head wound. This Knight had a very bad day. 3 hearts, that's the highest level of severity. But you see with the CT, SM, GB, and FB, if you did a cut, a smash, a great blow, or a ferocious blow, and you inflicted at least 2 points of damage and you got a certain red die result, then that wound card would apply. And what that means is that some weapons and attack types are more likely to draw certain types of wound cards than others. Same thing with bash. So you see the severity index, title, description, full color art showing what happened. And then there's game data that tells how your hand is affected, which affects how well you can keep fighting. 1 star is and a low number. That's one of the lower levels of bash. So the next combat action that you have would be a pause in this one. Then you can discard it. Bash 19 with 3-star severity index really gives you a bad day and really impacts your ability to fight. Okay, so different types of wounds, different types of bash. I'm going to go through some of the weapons. I'm not going to go through the combat actions. I don't have those cards quite handy, but we'll go through some of the weapons, show you some differences. So here's a mace. Mace card says the actions that you can take with a mace are smash. You can also dodge. Dodge is never listed on a weapon card because dodge is always permissible. Likewise, you're not going to put a shield parry on a weapon card. You have to have a shield to be able to do that. So a smash often will show up on bash cards. But to get a bash result, you have to roll an 8 or 9 on the red die, the to hit roll. So here, this is a total roll of 12. You need a base 11 plus to hit, putting aside the attacker's modifiers and the defender's modifiers. And with that 8 red die result, so it's the red die of the to hit roll. For a mace, that would be a bash. You draw a bash card. For the bash card to apply, you have to have the attack type that was used. So for a mace, you can only smash. So that would apply. Driven to a knee, if that were the one that were drawn, that would apply there. Now with a sword, sword is also a red die result. 8 would be a bash. Sword, you can only slash or thrust. Well, only, but you can slash or thrust with a sword. So for the driven to a knee, if they had done a slash, or a great blow or ferocious blow. A great blow is a type of attack that is exclusive to the knight class. The ferocious blow is a type of attack that is exclusive to the barbarian class. You can do that with any type of weapon, and any of those will trigger the attack types. So if the sword had been used to, throw a thrust, and then there was an 8 that were drawn, or that was rolled on the die like we just did, and you drew the driven to a knee bash card, you see there was no thrust on there, so wouldn't apply. But another type of bash where it would apply, sometimes you'll see all. Doesn't matter what type of attack is used, that applies. So that's that red die result. Let's okay, so here with a great sword, a red die result of 8, just a pure 8, is just a wound. And you can do a cut, a thrust. BP is a blade parry. That's not going to be an attack. Let's say done for a cut, and then moderate bleeding is the one that's drawn. If the attack type was a cut, this wound card would not apply. So thrust would have to apply. And what that means is the damage would still apply, but the condition effects, start around effects, would not. Here's one, slight bleeding. So if it had been a cut that was used and an 8 was rolled on the red die, this wound condition would be drawn and apply. A dagger, so let's compare a dagger to a greatsword. So a greatsword, a 7 will bash you, an 8 will give you a wound, a 9 or a 10 will be a wound and a bash. Now look at how a dagger works. A dagger, a 9 to 10 would just be a wound, and that would either be a slash or a thrust, because that's all you can do with a dagger. So you're not going to bash somebody with a dagger, which makes sense. Who gets bashed with a knife? A sling An 8 would have been a bash, and that's considered a smash attack. The flail, smash attack, an 8 would be a bash. Two-handed battle axe. How do I know it's two-handed? Because there's 2 hand icons up in the upper right corner. An 8 would be a wound and a bash. And again, for the wound card to apply, at least 2 body must be inflicted, with that red die result. And then the qualifying attack would need to be listed on the card. So a cut, which is what would be used from a battle axe, would apply moderate arm wound if this were the one that were drawn. If a knight, just to be crazy, used a dagger for a great blow, it would apply because a great blow is listed on the card, but dagger does less damage, so does it meet the requirement to do at least 2 body? It would have to do a lot of damage to punch through somebody's armor for that to apply. Fire breath, a red die result of 8 would be just a wound. We consider fire breath to be like a ferocious blow for the purpose of qualifying attacks. So, weapons. Went through some of the wound cards, the different types, the 1 heart, 2 heart, 3 heart wound severity. Went through the bash cards and the different types, the 1 star, 2 star, 3 star bash severity. So you know how bad the problem is. And as you can see, everything's done, complete. Also went through the playmats a little bit. I think that's about it. Thanks for watching. We hope to earn your support. Bye.